There's a kind of quiet that only exists in the mountains. Not the peaceful kind, not the kind you put on postcards. I mean the quiet that settles in after something's happened. The kind that lingers like smoke that never quite clears out of the trees. Hello friends, and welcome back to the Pine Grove Briar. Go ahead, get yourself settled. Pull that chair a little closer. If you got a pipe handy, this would be a good time to load it. Because tonight's story doesn't like being rushed. Appalachia doesn't forget things easily. It just chooses not to repeat them. And tonight we're talking about one of those stories. There's a holler in these mountains. Name doesn't matter much anymore, if it ever did. One road in, same road out. The kind of place where directions are given in time, not distance. You go about 10 minutes past where the old mill used to be. Then you don't go much further. Now, folks there weren't unfriendly. They'd wave, they'd nod. But they had a way of letting you know, politely, that curiosity was something best practiced elsewhere. In hollers like that, everyone knows everyone. And everyone knows when not to know. There was a man, let's call him Henry Boone. Now, Henry wasn't loud, wasn't ambitious, didn't drink much, didn't talk more than necessary, which in Appalachia already makes you stand out. Henry had lived in that holler most of his life, worked odd jobs, fixed what needed fixing, kept to himself. Then one evening, Henry went out and didn't come back. No shouting, no gunshots, no signs of trouble. Just absence. And what's strange, what's telling, is how little urgency followed. No search parties that lasted more than a morning. No heated meetings. No real questions. Just a quiet acceptance that Henry had moved on. That explanation settled like ash. You know, pipe smoking teaches you something about places like this. If you rush a bowl, it bites back. If you push it too hard, it burns hot and bitter. Same with stories. Some things in these mountains only reveal themselves if you sit long enough. And even then, only partially. Henry Boone's story is one of those. Years later, if you asked about Henry, answers came, well, carefully measured. I reckon he left. Wasn't happy here. Didn't suit him much anymore. No one could tell you where he went. Or why. And nobody ever used his name more than once per conversation. That's something you learn to notice after a while. Before we get too much farther into the story, I want to tell you about our friends at the Burley Tobacconist. Folks who understand that good tobacco isn't about speed, flash, or shortcuts. If you're listening to this episode with pipe in hand, the Burley's blends are meant for exactly this kind of evening. Slow burning, thoughtful, and best enjoyed without distractions. Because some stories and some smokes deserve your full attention. The local sheriff at the time made a few notes. Not many, Nothing actionable, nothing official, just observations. He once wrote that the holler was cooperative but finished talking. That might be the most Appalachian sentence ever put on paper. No charges were filed, no conclusions drawn, and Henry Boone was quietly folded into local memory as quote-unquote one of those things. Before I forget, let me tell you about our friends at Sewell's Woodworks. Now, they don't do furniture, and they don't pretend to. What they do make are solid pieces, and they make them with pride and integrity. They have some different types of products, from hanging art to 3D printed products, custom pieces for pipe smokers, and gear built for folks who spend their time outdoors, razor riders included. Functional, purpose-built, no frills, just like the people who live in places that don't explain themselves. Now, that holler's still there. Same road, same trees, same quiet. And if you pass through slow enough, you just might feel it watching you. Not with hostility, not even with suspicion, just with memory. This has been the Pine Grove Briar. Remember, some places don't keep secrets. They are the secret. And until next time, keep your pipes lit and your powder dry.